Is Dubai really a bubble, or is it you who is living in a bubble? First things first, Dubai is successful for a reason, for a number of reasons, and we will go through that some other time. On the other hand, there are people who are living in a bubble when making decisions, and they make it wrong. In this video, I will share with you top 5 mistakes that real estate investors are making over and over again and regretting their decisions later. Let's go, or yalla. Mistake number 1, not seeking for professional advice or hiring the wrong property consultant. By the way, you can share with me in the comments below how and based on which criteria are you picking your agent when it comes to buying a property. I'm really curious to know more about your way of picking the right professional. Now, millionaires never do this mistake. They never underestimate value of the expertise. I came in real estate having a 15-year background in psychology. Most of my clients in psychology were real estate brokers. So trust me, I really know how it works. I know them inside out. And I know for a fact that in Dubai, all the brokers, they depend on their commission. They don't have a salary. And moreover, of course, the newcomers into this business, into this profession, they all have to survive. That's why they keep pitching the projects of those developers that are offering them the highest commission. That means that sometimes you might find yourself buying a property that is not suitable for you, but is more suitable for the agent that is pitching you the project that gives him the highest commission. Pick the agent that is able to spend time with you and offer you at least 3 perspectives of your strategy for investment. Let's say that you want to invest in a property in order to resell it. Ask your agent, is he able to forecast or tell you who will be your clientele, who will be the people that would eventually rent the apartment or buy your apartment and so on based on your strategy. Does he know the nationalities of those clients? Does he know their needs? Does he understand where he will find eventually those people who would be able to buy your property with the increase or with the top-up price? Now, if you have done right at step number 1, then you have avoided the mistake number 1, and we don't have to speak about mistake number 2. If not, then you might end up doing the mistake number 2. And the mistake number 2 is buying without having a clear strategy for your revenue. There are basically 3 strategies that everyone is talking about. It's flipping, it's the renting, and the end use. And of course, it would be tremendously fantastic if you would find a project that is good for all these 3 scenarios. Normally it doesn't work like that, especially if you are talking about a flipping scenario as a priority. You should understand that there is fast flipping and longer scenario flipping. Let's say you've been promised that you can make a lot of money on a fast flipping. So basically you invest 30% and you resell it within a year, and your top up would be around 60%. That was working for a while, years ago, but not anymore. So if your agent is still promising you that on every project, change your agent. On the other hand, there are a few units, a few projects that could be suitable for this particular scenario. Most of them, to be honest, are ultra luxury. But on the other hand, there are units which are suitable. It's just very hard to find, and your agent has to do the extra work, which he's probably not eager to do. So if you would be interested to know more about that, leave me a comment below or reach out to me over WhatsApp. We might discuss this opportunity. But then there is the option number 2, the resale. Also a good idea to invest. And usually for this scenario, it doesn't work investing, being one of the first ones to invest in a new area and expect to have a good ROI on rent, because obviously if you are amongst the first ones that bought a cheaper apartment when the area was just being launched, let's say, by the time that your building is on handover, you will be in the middle of the construction, so no one will rent from you. that is also a mistake. So it's important to have that in mind. And also, if you want to go into buying and use property, do not think as a tourist, because this is what usually is happening with all the investors. They come to Dubai for a week, they fall in love with a certain community or area, they feel like they could spend their life there, and then after they become residents, after a year of living in Dubai, they change their mind. They start hating that community and they want to move, to relocate to other communities which are more suitable for residents. So that depends alone from your property consultant, which brings me to the mistake number 1 again. To summarize, mistake number 1 is to pick the wrong agent. And the insight here is to test your agent. Try to find out, is he there for a long run or a short run? Is he trying to make his money right here, right now? Or does he have a long-term strategy for your investment? Mistake number 3, don't buy to your liking. Did I just say that? Yes, don't buy to your liking if your priority is to invest and make money. People, when it comes to investing in a property, they tend to be emotional about that and dreamy. Oh, I want this kitchen aisle to be in the middle of my living room, or I want to be on the top floor. So let's take that apartment. Let's take this apartment that has an open kitchen and so on. You like it, I like it, we're here together. But if our purpose is to sell this property to the specific clientele, then it won't work. Do you think your investor, if he is, let's say, Indian nationality, will he go for your property that has an open kitchen, kitchen aisle in the middle of your living room? Probably not. And if you don't know that, then it means that your property consultant didn't advise you the best way. He might just nod when you suggested, let's buy this apartment because I like the layout or whatever, and he sold and made his commission. But at the end of the day, you will be the one who will have to struggle with the resale or with rent. Mistake number 4, don't follow the crowd. If everyone is doing something, it doesn't mean you should do the same. I had a client, I still have him because I really am insisting on changing his strategy because initially he invested in a property that we wanted to keep for renting for 2 years after handover and then resell it with a top price. Why did we have this strategy? Because we had in mind the cost appreciation of the neighborhood that is to become the ultra luxurious, while he invested in a property that is not ultra luxurious, but the price and the value of that apartment is to become super high. That is why I really recommended that we wait after the handover, we rent the apartment for 2 years and then we resell it. Now it comes closer to the handover and now he can see a lot of people that bought apartments in that same building and they are putting them for resale. So now he wants to do the same because he's so afraid that he will lose this bus. And I'm really advising him against doing that because you don't do what other people are doing just to be in the middle of the crowd. First of all, because if you do this at this very moment, you would have to offer on the market a distressed sale, which means that you will have to drop the price. Instead, we know for a fact that that area is performing very well and has a very good ROI in terms of rent. So he can benefit from the apartment, he can live in the apartment, he can do whatever during these 2 years. And in the meantime, when he will be ready to resell, he will be definitely selling it as a business, not only as an apartment, because he will be able to show the revenue based on the rental income. So that is always a good idea to maybe ask your agent and be honest about your plans, because at the end of the day, life is unpredictable. If you need to get out of a project just because you need the money, something happened and you want your money back, then you have to be ready to resell the property but offer a distressed price on the market. So basically you have to lower the price. Otherwise, I really advise you to go and listen to the strategy that you had in place at the moment of your purchase and not just follow the crowd. Mistake number 5, and the juiciest one, is if you're not ready to buy, don't buy it. Just don't buy it. I personally don't like to be pushed. That's why I never push my clients. If they're not ready to buy, if they want to wait another year or to wait for those prices to drop on the market and maybe wait for that crisis to hit, keep on waiting and let everyone else who invested be happy. At the end of the day, it's all your responsibility. What's important for me is that my client knows at least a few options, a few strategies that he can choose from, and at least we know how to benefit from each one of them. But at the end of the day, the choice is all his. Please share with me in the comments below if you like this video, if any of those tips worked for you, or maybe you have other tips that you could share with us. Stay tuned and, of course, subscribe.